The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
So some fairly big news broke out earlier today. It appears that Robert Rodriguez has let the cat out of the bag to let everybody know that if you are a big From Dusk Till Dawn fan, well, you're going to be getting some more From Dusk Till Dawn because he is going to be involved in an animated series. There's no real specifics as to when this is going to come out, but what it's going to do is that it's going to expand on the TV series, and they're going to dive in a little bit more with the Aztec vampires and the history of them. So, like I said, I don't know when it's going to come out. I don't know what station it's going to be on, but I know we're going to be looking at a lot of shotgun toting and a lot of barroom fighting and a whole bunch of Aztec vampires and a lot of BLOOD blood. So be on the lookout for that. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 443 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein. Also, maybe at the Lair of Lost Swag. We don't know yet. Apparently he's having technical difficulties. We also are broadcasting from Casa de Zero and the Lair of the Gods. We are live. Well, if you're watching live, we're live. If you're listening to the podcast, we're live to tape. We are live with episode 443 of Trick or Treat Radio, and on this evening's show, we will be discussing a film entitled Bloody Hell. So we'll be talking about that film, a horror comedy, and it is from director Alistair Grierson. So we'll be talking about that and just shooting the shit. If you guys are listening live and you have some voice messages or some thoughts, some emails that you want to send in, you can go ahead and do so, podcast@trickortreatradio.com if you have thoughts about the film, if you saw it, or anything at all. And if you guys are listening to this on the podcast and not live, you can always send in a voice message. We love hearing from you. So feel free to send it in podcast@trickortreatradio.com. So, yeah, MZ, I hadn't heard that news. So there's going to be an animated sort of continuation.
Yeah, an animated series, the continuation of the TV series, not the movies, but the TV series.
Oh, I'm sorry, I must have missed that. The TV series. I haven't seen the TV series.
Now, what was the difference with the TV series? Is that its own tale, or is that beyond the movies?
I guess it is. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I've never seen it. Well, you know what? Well, you know what it is. The sequels to From Dusk Till Dawn really left a bad taste in my mouth. I mean, I guess I guess part 2 is okay a little bit, but after that, it was kind of like really bad. I mean, and of course, you can't top the first one. I mean, the first film's a classic, and it's actually it's a classic officially this year. It's 25 years. So, wow, that's hard to believe too. Now that I think about it, but yeah, I don't know if they're going to get like maybe any original voices from the series. I guess I don't know if there are any. You know, I don't know who starred in it, to be perfectly honest. But it's yeah, I like it when they do this. I like the idea of an animated series. I just hope the animation is good. That's my thing. You know, if it's anything like the remake of Thundercats or Thundercats. Jesus Christ, it'll tank.
Well, that's the problem is the animation nowadays is not our animation, so it doesn't resonate with us. You know,
no, but I mean, No, but I mean, if it's something on the idea of, say, like Samurai Jack, I'm on board. Or if it's something like Powerpuff Girls, I'm on board. But if it's like Thundercats, the remake of Thundercats, I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be rough.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying though. You're calling out old cartoons that you like, and a modern cartoon you don't like. You understand what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
So, I mean, you got to hope that they're gearing it towards an older crowd rather than, making a PG-13 version of, the story and trying to gear it towards teenagers because you're going to get an animation you don't like.
Let's hope, because I mean, I don't know of many, younger people that rave on about From Dusk Till Dawn. Although they should. It's an awesome movie.
Yeah, but they have the name recognition, so now they're trying to get a new audience with it.
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't really excite me all that much. The show didn't really. I mean, I didn't watch the show, so I have no idea if it was any good or not. But I don't know. It doesn't seem all that exciting to me. I want, if it was a continuation of the movie, I'd be more interested potentially.
Yeah, see, I have no interest. The show I knew it was happening and didn't care about that. So why do I care about a cartoon of a continuation of something I had no interest in?
Yeah.
Like if you had a vested interest in the show, then I guess it would matter to you. I don't even know how long ago the show came out.
MZ, I want you to do me a favor. The next time you want to watch Black Knight, instead watch Dusk Till Dawn, the TV show.
It's not a bad idea.
I'll keep that.
At least 2 episodes, because then you'll have your movie, and whether it's good or bad, you're still ahead of the game.
Yeah. Oh, Black Knight, my God. But also, I've been selling off my DVDs. I got a bunch of DVDs I've been selling off, and the day after everybody put in their orders, I mailed them out, and Steve Van Samson, who placed an order, already got his yesterday. Where's Raven Shadow for that?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I saw you were selling some stuff. You
yeah.
Did you move a lot of it?
I got rid of about, let's see, I was trying to move about maybe 50 DVDs. I sold maybe about 12 or 13 of them.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah. Steve Van Samson, and of course, everybody knows who Steve Van Samson is. He's the cohort with
Derek Rook.
Derek Rook, yeah. So, and the Roughhouse Publishing. So, and he's very talented, and he put in an order, and Pantaphobe, she bought a few, and
nice.
She didn't even want to wait. She came over to my place and picked them up.
How about that? That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to fucking ship it.
Yeah, it was good to see her again. It's been, I think the last time I saw her was at the damn it, what the hell was it called? The Kettle Theater? Brattle Theater. When we did our show at the Brattle Theater.
We didn't do a show at the Brattle.
Oh, where was it then? What theater?
You talking about the Luna Theater in Lowell?
Luna Theater. That's it. That's it. And that was a while ago.
Now you've probably seen her since then. She comes to the Deadite shows. Oh, that's right. You don't go to all the Deadite shows, so maybe not.
Oh, fuck you, dude!
I go home in bed before the show starts.
What? Fuck off. Maybe I missed one show. I think I might have missed 1 or 2 shows in 20 years.
So
goddamn break. Not counting the Rock and Shock shows, of course.
Rock and Shock. So I do have control of Raven Shaw's computer now. We were a little worried there for a second. So
there.
Just give it another couple minutes and we'll get Raven Shaw on the air.
All right, good. Yeah, and so I mean, they're selling, but they just sold on that one day, and nobody's been interested since. So,
now, is there a reason why you're selling them? You just downsizing, or
just downsizing, man? I got too much shit here. I just got way too much stuff. I'm surrounded by
assholes,
action figures, and DVDs, and posters,
and assholes,
and assholes. Keep firing, assholes.
Surrounded by assholes.
It's just got too much shit here. Hey, look. Hey, all right. I'm gonna pawn this. Okay. See, I got the Pit and the Pendulum.
Yep.
Okay, Roger Clement Classic with Vincent Price. Come on.
How about this, MZ? How about if somebody signs up for the Patreon tonight, you'll send them a DVD?
No, I want the money to go to me.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, if someone signs up for Patreon, I will buy that DVD and we'll send it to the Patreon subscriber. How's that? Depends. Wait, how much you selling that DVD for?
I want the $4. I need that $4. I need that $4 so I could sign up for A-list. I'm an A-list member.
I am an A-list member. How dare you?
How dare you deny me my $4?
How dare you? That's my chair. That's my seat. I paid for it.
Oh, man. So, yeah, anything exciting happened this week? Nothing really happened, right?
I don't know. I feel like a giant weight has been lifted off of my chest. I can't
shaved.
quite figure it out.
You shaved. Oh, no.
Shaved. Oh.
That would be a giant weight off your chest.
Yeah.
No, but things are better. I feel like we can all breathe a little easier this week.
Yes. Ah.
I think collectively the country has just let out just that breath they've been holding for the last 4 years.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's all over. It has ended.
It has ended or just beginning? I don't know.
It has ended. It has definitely ended. I mean, yeah, there's going to be hiccups along the road. What presidency doesn't, So.
Oh, we're talking about presidency? I thought we were talking about something else. Okay.
What presidency doesn't? So, but it's just that this wasn't. This past administration just wasn't a hiccup. It was a COVID case times 10. That's how bad it was. So let's everybody, take a deep breath, be calm, and whatever happens. But at least we know we're in the hands of an actual sane person.
Yeah. That is true.
And speaking of sane people.
Well, I don't know if that's a good segue to Michael Ravenshadow joining us, but.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. Look at him.
Yeah, an extra time to comb his hair.
Yeah, how you doing there, you dopey-looking prick?
What? What's up, Ravenshadow? There you are. Had some technical difficulties there.
I was getting anxiety.
I know. I
know you were.
Yeah.
I can see the pace marks in the floor because the computer wouldn't turn on.
I can just picture her right now.
He's doing that really speedy back and forth pacing marks like Daffy Duck does in the cartoons.
I've been trying to turn the computer on since fucking 7:30.
No, you haven't.
I have.
You just keep hitting the button over and over? That's probably why it was fucked up. Because you probably turned it on and then turned it off, and then it was like blue screened.
Well, I wrench it around, wrench it off, and that's how you get the elevator to come faster. Keep pressing the fucking button, right?
Did you say wrench it on?
Yeah, is that a euphemism?
Yeah, wrench it around, wrench it off.
To get it to come faster. That's what you said.
Yeah, well, baby. Are you done yet? Baby, you gotta wrench it around, wrench it off.
Wait.
Come on now.
Knock it off.
My mom's coming over. Come on, stop it. Wrench it off.
Oh man. So all right, everyone's here. We're all here. Everyone's happy. Well, I think so.
Fine.
We're all fine here.
Here.
How are you?
How are you? We're in conversation anyway.
Speaking of Robert Rodriguez, now that I'm not troubleshooting, I can join the conversation. Did you? I don't know if you heard, MZ, because I know you're not a big Star Wars fan, but did you hear that Robert Rodriguez is the executive producer of the Boba Fett TV show?
Shit.
Really?
Yeah. He actually he directed the Boba Fett episode from The Mandalorian this past season.
Really?
And it was really fucking good.
Were there any shootouts or
Yeah,
take place in like a?
There was.
Well, it took place. It had to have taken place in a cantina because cantina sounds Spanish.
What?
A, it is. I think. I'm pretty sure. So does. Okay.
A, it takes place in a galaxy far, far away. B, don't be fucking racist.
Not racist.
Little bit.
No.
C, it was had some badass action, and Boba Fett never looked more badass. So he did right by him.
Honestly, dude, like you don't get to know nothing about anything else. I think if you just watch that, I think you'd really enjoy it.
Well, I have yet to see a single episode of this. Now, I mean, I know I'm really behind on this stuff because honestly, I really don't care. But just so that I realize what's going on here. Now, the Mandalorian. Now, is that the character's name that we always see that's like Boba Fett, only he's in a different colored armor, or is that Boba Fett and the show's just called The Mandalorian?
No. All right.
All right, so
Take a deep breath before you try to explain this to him.
Yeah.
So put it this way, MZ, try to real Reader's Digest version. Boba Fett, he wears Mandalorian armor. So Mandalorians, picture the Jedis being Jedis, right? Mandalorians are a culture that worship like weapon. I'm sorry, John. You know, fucking. I know.
I talk about it all the time. I like this. Go ahead.
So they worship weapons. They're like a weapon culture. So they wear these gear, and there's various sects of it. So and there's different realms.
SECTS, MZ, not SEX. Okay.
I kind of figured that. Thank you.
Because I was concerned too, Johnny. I was concerned. But basically, we're seeing this character. Basically, he's the man with no name. He's Clint Eastwood in all those fucking pictures. The job that comes across the child, which you've seen, you may know as Baby. So basically, it's more of a Western than anything else, set 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So it strips away a lot of the nonsense, a lot of the fucking shitty mullets that they had, stupid shit, and it's very like it's.
I'm surprised you didn't say incest, Raven Shadow.
There's no incest until a certain cracker shows up. But no, man, it's a space western, 30, sometimes 25-minute episodes. But
yeah,
I think
ranging between 25 and like 48, I believe.
Honestly, just watch the first one. If you don't dig it, then you're probably not sold.
Yeah.
But if you dig it, you will like it so much more.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say. Second season, I think, really ramps things up. First season is amazing, but I think the second season is even better. So, but yeah, it explores a little bit about the, we've explored Jedi quite a bit, but this explores the Mandalorian culture a little bit, and you find out more about their ways, so to speak, Raven Shadow, right?
Yeah, their sexy ways. I mean, you will see stormtroopers' heads on pikes. You will see.
Yep.
Remember Jedi Salacious Crumb, that little.
Oh yeah.
It's a quacky monkey lizard, man.
Those motherfuckers roasted fucking all day long on a fucking pike. Like you'll like there's some shit in there, dude. Like
and
just
Taika Waititi directs one episode in season 1.
Yeah, and Baby Yoda gets punched in the face.
by Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I mean, is it only streaming on that Disney
Plus
platform?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not lowering myself to get that. So, I'll just
I have an account.
deal without it.
I can create a profile for you if you're interested, and you can use mine.
I'm not interested.
All right, fair. You just wasted your time, Brave Channel. Way to go.
Thanks.
No. It's nice to know because I always wondered, and I got the quick and dirty on it, and I'm happy now, and that's all I need.
All right, well there you go. MZ, you were talking about someone's birthday today on social media. Surprised you didn't mention that.
Yes.
We're not live yet, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I always get worried when you stand up. I don't never know what I'm going to see.
Phone drop examine.
I'm clothed, okay? Calm your tits. I am happy to say that today is my idol's birthday. It's Benny Hill.
It's not my birthday. Oh, sorry.
You come in second, Aries. You always do. And he was my idol.
First.
What?
Sorry, go ahead.
And so when I got home from work today, I started watching a whole bunch of Benny Hill.
I can't believe
that box set.
I can't believe that Benny Hill is your idol.
I love this fucking guy. Are you kidding me? I first started watching him when I was 8 years old. I was laid up in the hospital and I couldn't get to sleep. So I'm going through the channels, trying to find something to watch. I'm 8 years old. It's 11 o'clock at night and I couldn't sleep. And I'm flipping around and I see some Bizarro World type of TV show that's going on. And I'm seeing this big guy, smacking around this little guy. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's kind of funny.
Is that another euphemism?
I'm going to get you.
So I turned the porn off, and then I picked up the Benny Hill DVD.
I'm smacked this little guy.
And it turns out that what I was watching was Benny Hill, and the skit that I was watching was his take on Carmen, the opera. And it's hysterically funny. I still remember it to this day. And I saw, okay, it's like 11:30, channel 56, WLVI. And
WLVI.
And I knew I was going to be in the hospital for a few days because I think I was in there either for a severe asthma attack or I ingested, or no, it was an asthma attack. It was definitely an asthma attack. And so I'm watching this, and then the show was over at 12, and at 11:30, then the show came on again. So I'm thinking, oh, holy jumping fucking shitballs! There's another episode, so I'm gonna watch this. What's that?
I don't know. Raven Channel's waving at us. So.
Hi, Raven Channel.
We are not live. Fucking, this needs to be fucking unpacked here. There's so much stuff to unpack. We are always in the fucking hospital.
Yeah. It's my second home.
We gotta go
and
what are you talking about? What, live?
The show.
We've been live since fucking 25 minutes ago.
We haven't been.
Yeah, we had.
Oh, really?
We have. We have. You haven't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we started without you.
Yeah,
you weren't ready.
I told
started.
you we're going to start without you.
Yeah.
I didn't think. I didn't think we meant it. Really?
Oh, are your feelings hurt?
Do you think we're just talking amongst ourselves?
That's what we do.
Yeah,
not till 8:30.
We've been live for 25 minutes.
Oh, dear God.
What the hell's the matter with you, you dopey fuck?
Well, lots of things. If I will go back to the fucking asthma in the hospital, then I'm sorry to fucking interrupt. Really?
Oh my
I guess
God.
Yeah, we did intros and everything without you.
No, you did. You fucking with me.
Yeah.
Christ. You kidding me with this guy?
Colin, he texted me.
Oh my
I
fucking
don't
God.
fucking believe
He's like, wait, let's go live. This is good shit. We need this on the air.
Good fucking story then. All right, well, I didn't know. All right. I'm sorry.
How do you live? How do you keep living? What keeps you going? How have you managed to live this long?
There ain't got much time left.
Yeah, for whoever got Raven Shadow in the Trick or Treat Radio death pool.
I don't know, man. I think he's going to be the last one of us standing.
Oh, my God.
God damn it.
Sorry. Back to the asthma and the fucking Benny Hill.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So I'm watching. Jesus Christ. So I'm watching Benny Hill, and I'm laughing my fucking balls off. Okay, it's hysterical. A lot of it really isn't making any sense.
When you're 8,
you better believe it, baby.
Well, those fucking things dropped when he was 2.
Yeah, like popped out. What is it? It's a fucking boy, dude. The fucking male. 2 fucking hippity hops.
And it was just so fun. I was laughing my ass off over it. I mean, I really didn't understand much of it because it was British, and they have a different, vernacular there than they do here. So I really wasn't sure what a block of flats were or anything like that. So, but visually it was funny because then they would cut to like the skits where things are like sped up like twice the speed with the sped up music, and that was hysterical, and that's what locked me in. But I've been a fan ever since, and I've been watching it ever since when it was on WLVI and also on Comedy Central, or the Ha Network as it was called before then. And I just remember laughing my ass off so much. And then when I finally found out that these things were finally on DVD, I picked that up. And this isn't exactly easy to find, at least not cheap anyway. This is all 58 episodes over 20 years, 1 hour long, bunch of extras, a bunch of musical acts that you never get to see on the air here. And it's an eternal. It's so fucking worth it. 18 DVDs, highest recommendation, and it's Benny Hill's birthday today. I put him right next to George Carlin as far as my favorite comics go, and the man is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and I love his work, and I'll always love his work till the day I fucking die. Which might be soon after listening to Raven Shadow rambling on. On the air yet.
You're like, this is some good content. We need to record this.
Really good show.
Oh, shit. Unbelievable.
Birthday, Benny.
Yes, happy birthday, Benny Hill. How old would Benny be?
Today he would be 97.
Jesus. What? I don't remember. When did he pass?
1991.
Wow, that's longer ago that's probably why I don't remember.
Yeah, it was all of a sudden that he died, and Thames Television treated him like crap at the end of his tenure, and didn't give him a big send off. 20 years that he gave them, and they just booted his ass out the door. And he was trying to get back into the swing of things ever since, and it wasn't until around early 1991, that he had a contract in his hands for a new series. And unfortunately, it wasn't too long after that he died. So that never came to fruition.
Okay.
So
yeah, they didn't treat him well throughout his whole series run. Like they signed him to a shit deal.
Yeah, I mean, he was making good money. I mean, and he was frugal. He was never married, doesn't have any kids. But he was extremely frugal, so he had money. He was set.
Well, yeah, they didn't. I wouldn't call the deal good. He decided to a decent deal, and because he was frugal, is why he had all this money.
And not married.
Yeah.
Aries.
Wow.
And it was during around the mid to late 70s to the early 80s is when Benny really peaked. That was when things were really getting nuts on his show. That there was stuff that on that show you could never do here now. Shit ton of scantily clad women, fart humor. You got the little old guy, Jackie Wright, who's always slapping him on the head and everything like that. And you got Henry McGee, Bob Todd. I mean, you just had a whole slew of people working for him, but it was around that time that things were really heating up for Benny, and that's when decency groups started to march against his show because of the content. And he stuck firm, and so did Thames, for that matter. And then around 1985, that's when things started to fall apart year by year by year. The scantily clad women, for the most part, are gone. The fart humor, for the most part, has been eliminated, and he started turning towards more of a family-friendly affair. He started having little children on his show, and and he's good with the kids. I mean, it's cute and all, but it's just not the same. I mean, he's still funny, and there's still little tidbits of gold in there during the last 5 years. Not that much, but there are some little diamonds in the rough, and but it's all good. I mean, it had to come to an end sooner or later. So for 20 years, I mean, that's not too bad.
It's funny. I remember, I don't remember when it was on, but I remember when I was younger, kind of flipping through the channels, and I saw it on, and I stopped and watched it, and then I remember seeing like scantily clad women, and I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't watch this, like.
Oh God! What were you, 25?
No, 25. Come on. Like probably like 9 or something. I don't know.
Oh, you big babe.
Because I remember my grandfather would watch it, and it'd be bedtime. I'd be staying at my grandparents' house, and I'd wake up, and I remember hiding behind a couch. My grandfather would be watching it. I'd be like sneaking in, trying to look, or like, trying to get a glimpse of it, because it seemed very, provocative.
Yeah.
But even though they didn't show anything, it was more titillation than,
Than tit.
Than tit. Yeah. More elation than tit, I guess it would be. But did he ever get any American opportunities? Like, that's a funny thing. Like, you would think someone would kind of like branch out. That was at the Porky's era, right? Which, once again, my grandfather would also be watching, and I would sneak out. Oddly enough, I would sneak out. My grandmother would be watching Star Wars. So I'm like, well, I'm fucking up now. But like, he never did anything kind of American crossover, right?
No, he did one show, Benny in New York, I think it's called, around 1989. He did some shows in New York, and I think you could only find those on VHS. It's funny. When going back to when I was in the hospital first watching this, I think it was like my third night in watching this stuff, and I was told by my mother that the nurses there were getting pretty pissed off at me. They were getting mad, and it wasn't because I was staying up at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. It was because I was staying up at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night watching Benny Hill. And I'm like, the fuck, bitches, it's on TV. I'm going to watch this shit, Get off my ass. And get me some orange juice while you're at it.
Did you have a Diet Coke button?
Yeah, but all it did was keep on raising the bed up and down.
Dump a Diet Coke on your face.
Oh, God. fucking Diet Coke. Fuck that shit. You know, I love Benny Hill, and I mean,
no, you don't say.
I do say. So definitely look at this. Check it out. Get it. It's so worth it. 58 hours of Benny. You go into a Thames Television coma after the 20th hour.
58 hours. How many times have you watched the whole thing all the way through, would you say?
I would say maybe
at least 100 times.
5 times, I would say.
All right.
But the best thing is that every time I watch it, I'm laughing my ass off. It's like watching it for the first time all over again. It is so goddamn funny. I mean, there's only one skit that he does throughout his tenure, and that's where he does a character called Chow Mein.
Oh, I'm sure that's politically correct now.
Yeah, it's the only skit I don't like. It's the only skit I've never liked. I just and this is going back way back even during the Channel 56 days. I just never found the character funny. It's overdone. Yes, it is politically incorrect.
Well, obviously, I mean, times were different. I mean, no offense to, because if you go back and watch almost any comedian from the 70s or 80s, like, you're going to be cringing at a lot of that stuff,
Yeah, don't start early Eddie Murphy. Just saying.
But it's the only one that I just never cared for. And when it comes on TV and when it comes on the DVD, I just bypass it because it's just never funny to me.
Yeah.
It's the only sore spot I have with Benny Hill. Outside of that, it's gold. Fucking gold, baby.
Fucking gold. All right, so we're going to talk about anything else besides Benny Hill on this show. Raven Chow, anything exciting going on for you?
I feel like I'm coming in late. We did the intro already, right? We did that. We did the breaking down.
You want me to start over?
Yeah.
Too bad.
Aries did the intro?
No, MZ.
I think we're starting to roboticize.
Yeah, we are.
I can hear it.
Is that like eroticize?
God, I hope not.
I wanted to live. I wanted to breathe. I wanted to roboticize.
The funny thing is, Raven Shadow is the only one that doesn't do it when it happens.
Babaleo, baby. Let me get on the mic. All right.
Oh, good. Yeah, don't tell him that because he'll just want to talk more.
So that probably means it's coming from your end.
My end? Listen,
all right.
My end's the problem.
Kill his feed. We were doing better without him.
What the fuck?
So let me see what else we got going on here. Yeah, nothing big. I mean, obviously, aside from stuff in the world of politics, nothing else really big going on that I can think of. No, looking forward to next week's show. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, though. No stories, Raven Shadow? Nothing?
Yeah, no. I mean, I finished season 1 of Titans on the HBO Max, and I've been talking about it a little bit. I really fucking enjoyed it. It's darker. It's not my ideal Perez Wolfman ones, but I think it was well done for what they're doing, and I'm excited for more. There was a certain character that showed up. I mean, the show's been out for a couple of years now. Is it a spoiler if I say what character shows up?
No.
Maybe. I haven't watched it.
Oh, there you go.
It's on my to-do list, but
Domo Rogato.
But you know what? Here we go. You got 10 seconds. I'm taking my headphones off.
An original Titan shows up that happens to rock. To fuck about the Teen Titans. But let's just say she has a magic lasso, and it's not Diana. So that was exciting to me. You put your put it back on.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs. Good. You're good.
You all done?
Then Dick Grayson dies.
Yeah.
But once again though, we're watching it and like, let's just say like, the dude who plays Grayson is pretty. And I
Oh God, you're starting to sound like Mars now.
He's pretty, but I gotta hear Marion say it too, where I'm like, what the fuck? I'm in the room, But he's handsome, and he's definitely he's a nice dick.
What did I just hear?
He's a nice
dick.
He's a nice dick.
What the?
Yeah, he's a great dick. There's some great dick on that show.
You just can't get enough.
So I may be a little bit behind the times, but I just saw the trailer for Kilroy, Kevin Smith movie. Anyone familiar with that?
No, I don't even know. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, the horror, right? The horror movie.
It's Kevin. Yeah, he's coming out with a horror movie. I think it's here. Whatever the I can't remember what the actual saying was. But the whole Kilroy thing that started out in Vietnam, he created a backstory to it. And it actually... Pardon?
I think it predates to World War II.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Kilroy was here.
Kilroy was here. It's the title, yes.
Kilroy was the first meme, right? That was which I saw that meme recently. But yeah, the dude, he looked kind of like Hubert, sticking his head out.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Right?
So we sound like, but Kilroy was like graffiti.
Yeah, so he's creating a backstory to that whole Kilroy thing, and it seemed rather interesting. I mean, his last horror movie, I don't know if you want to. Actually, he's come out with a few that could be classified as horror.
Yeah.
But the halfway decent one was the Red State, which that's if you broaden your mind to the definition of horror, that wasn't a halfway bad movie. He's come out with some bad ones since then, but this one puts more faith in me as far as his movies go, with what I've seen.
What about Tusk?
I dug
Tusk. Yeah, awesome. I didn't care for Tusk, and I didn't care for Yoga Hosers.
Oh, Yoga Hosers was an embarrassment. Oh, that was awful.
Oh, see, I consider both of those together, and I don't care for them.
Oh, Yoga Hosers. I felt embarrassed watching that movie. I really did.
I'm gonna disconnect with you guys and reconnect. See if that helps. So you won't hear for a few moments. All right. So let me try to lose the audio. We still got their video, but I'm gonna try and get their audio back, and hopefully that will improve. In the meantime, I guess I'll just jump on to talking about the Patreon stuff. If you guys are not already supporters of our Patreon, we'd appreciate it if you checked it out. Head on over to patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And there you can join for as little as $2 a month. And we do... Oh, and it's still roboting. Damn. All right, we'll give it a minute. I'm running down the Patreon spiel. I'm going to mute you guys for a second. So you guys can join for as little as $2 a month. You can head on over to patreon.com/trickortreatradio, and there's all kinds of perks. You guys will get access to exclusive episodes. We do one a month, and they're exclusive just to Patreon. And in addition to that, we have the Monsterpiece Theater Movie Club. We have access to our Discord community and lots more, including the blackout tapes when those happen and all that sort of stuff. So go give it a look, sign up, and you guys can get some stuff out of it, and you help support the show and keep us going. All right, it's still doing the thing. So when we go to commercial break, I'm going to try to reconnect. We'll restart the connection, and hopefully that'll fix it, because this is annoying as fuck. I was going to go to Raven Shadow, but he is not there. For some reason.
What the hell? Where did he go?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
But anyway.
Wait, I can speed this whole process up. So, yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, here he
comes. Of course.
Jesus. Sit your ass down.
The other ways you can help the show is if you head to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, you click on it. It's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session will get attributed to us. Doesn't cost them any extra, Michael Ravenshadow.
That's another way to help keep the lights on.
That is right. It's another way to help keep the lights on. And also, you guys can go to trickortreatradio.com, click on store, and there you can see that we have the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3. Obviously, we've been doing this for 8+ years. I don't expect everybody to have gone back and listened to all the episodes. So if you want some highlights, lowlights, midlights, everything else in between, you can go check that out and get sort of an idea of what we've done in the past. And give that a look. They're $3 a piece. So those also go to help fund the show. Raven Shadow is doing his own tech support, apparently. That's dangerous.
I'm waiting to see smoke.
Yeah.
All right. So, Raven Shadow, I'm going to ask you to be present for me here. Can you be present for me? Oh, my God. He has to
fix the hair.
He has to fix the hair for that quick little fucking headphone.
Vain little bastard he is. Jesus.
I'm being present. See how it fixes when I stop? All right.
I didn't say anything.
Present,
yeah, because you weren't present. You weren't even in the conversation.
I'm present now. You're doing it doesn't cost you any extra.
Yeah, we did it. So, Raven Shadow, what did you do to prepare for this week's fucking movie?
Oh man, Johnny, I was hustling, I was bustling, I was doing some sidewind and rustling, baby. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things, a lot of machinations going on behind the scenes. I didn't know.
You didn't know what fucking movie we were watching again.
I don't get out much. There's a pandemic, Aries.
All the more reason for you to fucking know.
Well, listen, it's that I'm not breaking as much plans as I used to. I kind of missed that. I kind of want to be able to make plans and then break them again. Because I haven't had a chance to do it. But no, when I'm done watching Titans, I'm done watching the Cobra to the Kai. You better believe, I don't watch Benny Hill because I'm no longer 8 years old. But you goddamn better understand. Strapped on.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops. As we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
I'm Alex West. And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
I could be standing outside a woman's prison in a fistful of 50s and a bouquet of dildos, and no woman would come near me.
back on Trick or Treat Radio. Hopefully without some roboting, but we will see. We had to disconnect and reconnect. It was a fiasco. But okay, seems like we're okay right now. But we'll keep an ear on it and see. And if we have to, we'll figure it out. All right, everyone is back. That's because we had an extra long break. Raven Shadow, aren't you happy? He's clapping. Great. The people on the podcast can't.
Watch him fix his hair. Watch his hair. There you go.
I want
Fix
the hair.
The people on the podcast can't see or hear you clap.
They can't hear me clap?
No.
Oh, make him do it louder.
You can do it right into the mic. No, that's not right into the mic.
There you go. Good boy. You earned a banana sticker.
He earns a banana split sticker.
Ooh, I don't want that.
Yeah, I heard about a sequel coming out for that crap fest. Jesus. Oof.
Well, we just need to see Willy's Wonderland.
Yes, we do.
Ravechow, are you excited for Nick Cage battling some psycho animatronic fucking animals?
I love this new era of Nicky Cage. I love it. I love it. I was watching his History of Swears on the Netflix.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure he's not wearing a piece at all during that show. But no, I love Nick Cage. I do. I'm a huge Nick Cage mark.
I love the fact that he's embraced his inner insanity. Well, I don't know how much inner it is anymore, but it's certainly insanity, and he's embraced it. I think he's got Jack Nicholson beat by a country mile right now.
I would go over Jack Nicholson, and he's pole vaulting over like Pacino and like Bobby D, where he's just becoming the character. You know what I mean?
especially Pacino. Yeah,
right. You know what I mean? Like, but he's
Pacino.
Right, but I mean, like, but Cage can still do some fucking. I love Nick Cage, man. We should get him on the show.
I'm sure that'll be really easy.
The fact that he's bringing his career back partially through horror and other through action films, but a lot of it through horror. I'm like, 20 years ago, who would have seen this coming? You know, none of us.
Nope.
And yet here we are, and we got Nick Cage.
When he was on stage getting the Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas. Did you ever expect this?
But I think Nick Cage, like, he went undercover into like that world. Like, I think he was always batshit crazy. You know, even taking his name after Luke Cage. Like, the dude had some stuff. Did you ever watch that old clip where he was on some like early 80s like European show?
Yes.
Weird, like what do you call it? A somersault?
Somersaults or front flips or whatever. Yeah.
Flip. He's throwing money in the crowd. Like, dude's
he's got a leather jacket on and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's just peeling back the curtains. You know.
When was the first? Would you say Face Off was the first time that he kind of because he did act a little crazy in that one, right?
I mean, that was he definitely embraced it. The whole like, I'm Castor Troy, and like face off.
Yeah.
Face off. How would you like to? If I let you suck my thumb, would you be grateful? You know, shit like that.
Yeah.
But then he was in that he ate a cockroach. He ate a cockroach in the
Devil's Kiss.
Devil's Kiss.
Yeah.
I think he was batshit crazy that somehow got into mainstream stuff. I mean, like Raising Arizona, even.
Well, that was like real early.
Well, also realize he's Martin Scorsese's nephew.
I was going to give. Okay.
No, sorry, Aries. I want you to keep going with that, but no, he's not Martin Scorsese's nephew. He's Francis Ford Coppola's nephew.
That's what I meant. Francis Ford Coppola. Yeah.
Because in Fast Times, I believe he is listed as Nicholas Coppola. But Aries, please jump in, brother.
Yeah. Never mind. It was just no, fuck it.
This is why Ayers and I never tag team.
Evil Corny's hanging out. He says he was weird in The Rock too. It was a sequel to The Rock? No.
Made a sequel to that?
No.
Chemical super freak. I love that. I mean, Aries and I, we saw a lot of those pictures. We saw the Con Air, we saw The Rock with Ed Harris and
Sean Connery
with his flowing locks.
Oh my lord,
he looked pretty badass in that too.
If only he had played Superman.
Oh God!
Listen, I want Superman to be Italian more than anybody, but Nick Cage is not Man of Steel. So.
I think the story. Well, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, that movie went through so many different incarnations that who knows if it would have been any good or not. But I feel like the stories about the film not getting made might be better than the film.
There's been some great documentaries of it, and I think some of it gets some unfair criticism because they didn't see the final product.
Yeah.
It would have been a very unique take on the Man of Steel mythos. I would love to see a animated version of it, and I think that could be kind of cool. Because they took the Kevin Smith script. Somehow John Peters was still fucking. Fuck
John Peters.
Right, I think he was in Man of Steel credits. He might even have a credit in fucking Justice League. I don't understand that.
Everything Superman related. I think he has his fucking dirty paws in.
Yeah, I don't.
And he was who? Barbara Streisand's hairdresser? Was that the story or something?
Yeah, he was a failed hairdresser that became a producer, and somehow got involved in stuff. And like Mars used to say, in Hollywood, you fail going up, or I forget who's.
It's not just Hollywood.
Yeah,
you're a manager, aren't you? Oh,
listen, charisma and potential can get you a long way. But 1999 is a long time ago.
Yeah. So I looked it up. I had to be sure. It was he was Barbara Streisand's hairdresser. Fucking kidding me.
Yeah, like somehow that fucking guy. But I know they're gonna do a weird take. There's some great documentaries on the Burton joint. I am glad it didn't happen, but it would have been fucking interesting.
All right, well, you know what? That is interesting, but we have a movie to talk about. That is not Nicolas Cage's Superman. Evil Corny had posted the GIF of Nicolas Cage with the hair blowing in the winds from The Rock.
Put money in the box.
That's Con Air.
It's
Con Air. Oh, okay, yeah. I get them confused. Didn't they come out like back to back? I believe, or around the same time, anyways.
Every year there was like a Bruckheimer, or the guy that died, Nicolas Cage movie. But yeah, Con Air.
The guy who died.
Yeah, who was Bruckheimer's boy? Wasn't it? They were a tag team. It was Bruckheimer and
was it Emmerich? One of the Emmerich brothers or something?
Emmerich. The logo had the lightning logo. It was the two of them, I thought. But I mean, Con Air was fun too. One of the best lines. What are you looking at? Ugly all day. I just loved it. I love that fucking picture. And he had the bat.
Oh, Jesus. All right, well, enough about Con Air. We also have Matchel of Omaha hanging out. He says, what does he say? Oh, just realized it was Thursday, so popping on. And Evil Corny says it was the worst Alabama accent ever filmed.
There's a good Alabama accent?
Wow.
That's right. I went there, Corny.
Yeah. Actually, there was. You could find it in Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Boys up Kansas. There you go.
All right, so let's talk about Bloody Hell. This movie is from 2020, is rated R, 93 minutes. It is directed by Alistair Grierson and written by Robert Benjamin. And the film stars Ben O'Toole, Meg Fraser, Carolyn Craig, Matthew Sunderland, Travis Jeffrey, Jack Finster, David Hill, Joshua Brennan, and Ashley Lawback. The synopsis: a man with a mysterious past flees the country to escape his own personal hell, only to arrive somewhere much, much worse. All right, so this one here is, I'm actually not familiar with the director, Alistair Grierson. Just want to check. I think he's done. Yeah, he's done a couple features prior to this. He did a film called Tiger in 2018, and he did another one called Sanctum in 2014. Other than that, let's see. Well, actually, Sanctum. Let's see. Was this? Yeah, it looks like it was executive produced by James Cameron. Is that right?
This movie?
No. Sanctum, one of his earlier films.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was executive produced by James Cameron, his earlier film. So it's a pretty good company to keep with in terms of having someone executive produce your film. But aside from that, he's done a bunch of shorts, and he's done some TV work as well. So I'm not familiar with the director, and also the writer Robert Benjamin. He's done. Let's see. He did a film called Welcome to Acapulco from 2019. And aside from that, he's done a bunch of shorts. And interesting, he was credited as a writer for UFC Unleashed.
Huh.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Editor. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, what would he have written? So he has he's written a bunch of shorts, and he was an additional writer for Welcome to Acapulco. So, and also just to kind of run down the cast, Ben O'Toole, we've seen him before. We saw him in the film Necrotronic, which we did, I believe, 2 years ago from the director of Wormwood, which I know we dug Wormwood a lot. So Necrotronic was pretty good. I think for the most part we dug that. He's also appeared in some other films like Hacksaw Ridge, and let's see. Aside from that, yeah, he's done a bunch of shorts, and I think he's an up and coming hungry young tiger, so to speak, if you will. But I think that this film, obviously we'll get into it and talk about what we thought about it. But I think this film's going to garner him some more attention, because I think that he played a pretty interesting role in this. That was, maybe not the easiest role to play, and I think he played it in a memorable fashion. So we'll get to talking more about that. But yeah, I heard some decent buzz about this one from festivals, and it was curious for us to check it out. And on the poster it says one hell of a fairy tale. I might not necessarily consider this a fairy tale. I don't know if they're trying to say that it is kind of a fairy tale. I guess in a sense you could view it that way, but not quite like Coco di Coco Day like we did last week. That was definitely more of, to me, kind of a fairy tale. So let's jump in. What are some first impressions about this flick? Anything really stick out to you guys? Anyone fucking love it?
Yeah. Yes. And yes.
I had a feeling. This is
yes, and Mo, yes.
Okay, so when I saw this, I was thinking, this is Raven Shadow's fucking movie. This was made for you.
I think it was made for me. Okay. It was made directly for me, for your boy. And I'm going to pull it out on the table right now in front of everybody. Aries, close your eyes. I marked, I said Aries, not Monster Zero, because you're in some weird shit. I really marked out from the beginning. I was a little nervous at first, because I'm like, what the fuck, Johnny? More fucking subtitles. You know what I'm saying? But when we see Rex, our main character, in the bank, and shit that kind of goes down, I really got into the picture, and it reminded me a little bit of SFW. If you know of that, the Stephen Dorff.
Yeah.
Jake Busey. Who else? Legally Blondie. Was it Reese Witherspoon? Was she in that? Who was the girl?
I don't remember. It's been years since I've seen it.
Right, but it was similar. Is it fair to say a similar thing of a being involved in a robbery, a kidnapping kind of thing?
Yeah, it was Reese Witherspoon. Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yeah, and by no means that a like to like comparison, but it kind of brought me to that moment, and I was really into that scene of a you're in a bank robbery. Obviously, he's kind of got a little thing for the cashier, the teller, right? The teller, and he's making his way to make sure he gets to have a transaction with her, and then fucking a very evil dead president meets Monster Squad shows up.
Yeah.
And rob the joint. They're all wearing like horror masks.
I saw EF, our one of our Patreon supporters and friend EF Contentment gave a review of it on Facebook earlier, and I saw that I thought it was funny. He said that he's done that exact thing with the teller, like he's waiting for one teller, and then he's kind of like delaying, like you know, have any of you guys done that? Like waited for the right teller and like told someone else to go.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
No. You guys are fucking just so fucking perfect.
Never.
So if you had like a younger woman or like an older woman at the bank, you would just go to the first one, MC? First one available?
Yeah. I want to get the hell out of there.
All right, fair enough.
Because of shit like that, because of shit that happened in this movie might happen there. I'm like, fuck this shit. I want to get my transaction and get the hell out of there. I got shit to do.
See, EF and I park our cars in the same garage. So, cheers, sir.
Wait,
when you're talking about meeting women, you don't want to use that analogy.
Yeah, no. Whoa.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
What the hell?
Or any less. Or any less. I saw Jesus. I saw EF's review, but I avoided that. I don't want any kind of influence or anything like that. My review is my review. I don't want it to piggyback off of anybody else's idea.
You'd probably be better.
Film.
Probably better off stealing people's reviews from time to time.
Yeah, you can read someone else's review and still give your own review.
Yeah, I know.
Are you that influenced?
Yes, I am. I'm like a 4-year-old.
Don't read anything from fucking QAnon then. Jesus.
Oh, now
the shadow president. That's fucking.
In regards to this film, the opening scene, prior to after the opening credits, because there's a pre-credit sequence.
Yeah.
I love it when movies start off like this. And it's even better when it pays off, and this one pays off. It's got action, intrigue. It's got a plucky spirit, as Raven Shadow would say. I gave you props. And it very suspenseful. I mean, it set the tone for what this guy is going to go through from here on out. And never mind about the hell that waits for him after jail. It's the hell that waits for him when he leaves the country. But the whole setup was really, really well executed, well paced, very well paced. In fact, we got to know this character. What's his name? Rex Cohen, I think his name is. So we got to know a little bit of his personality, a little bit. so he comes across as a likable character, even though the preceding court battle that he's facing with thinks differently.
Yeah,
I think the opening to this movie is really well done.
Yeah, it was interesting too because I liked how they showed you kind of one one perspective of the bank scene, and then like later on it kind of fills in the blanks a little bit, as we get to see a little bit more of what happened. And I thought that was a kind of a cool little thing. And obviously there some of the themes going on in here. So we have Rex, played by Ben O'Toole, does a dual role in essence. It's not really that much of it's not a spoiler. He plays a dual role, and you can even see it on the poster. I mean, if you think hard enough, you could probably ascertain that from looking at the poster. But so, and it's not like let me just say, he doesn't play a dual role. He sort of plays like he has like this other character who was sort of like split off due to PTSD. So he had, from the war. Do you say he was in Iraq? Is that what he said?
Eventually, we learned that he did have some service. He served.
So that was part of it, but also he has this sort of like predilection for violence, I guess you could say. Like or I shouldn't say predilection. It's not.
It's
good.
It's his training, and he cited his training. Basically, you could cite it as the bank sequence as being, the wrong place at the wrong time. But it's when these fuckers try to do some fuckery. Maybe not everyone is a fucking, and I'm not saying this to be mean, but a soccer mom was going, I'll change it. Maybe not everyone is going to be afraid of you or be compliant. And there's no shame in any of that. But maybe when they break down the fucking door, it's not who they expect. When they fuck with that out of towner, maybe he's not in a rock band. Maybe he turns out to be fucking king of the fucking vampires. And you're going to have a fucking bad day as a result. And this was a normal dude in a regular situation that happened to have training by the government that he used to do what he felt he had to do. Right? And is that a wrong?
No, I think it's fair to say.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
And so they kept sort of showing this bank scene. So obviously it had, it did define a lot about his, present and recent past. And also kind of he wanted to get away from it because of the way he acted in a heroic way, but he did maybe go a little over the top, according to some people. But because of this, he was sort of like a folk hero in his hometown of Boise, Idaho. And so when he got out of prison, he was like a celebrity, basically, and everyone was, because they saw what he did to fend off these bank robbers and to save people. But from a certain perspective, you could see that he was reckless in what he did and put some people in harm's way, without maybe realizing it. So there's a sort of duality to it. And, I think even the court scenes are done pretty well, to really kind of highlight that, right? To, this guy was a hero, but maybe his methods weren't quite, the methods of a hero,
And that's what I loved about how the film, it kept showing those flashbacks as the film progressed. And to be fair, the prosecutor had a great fucking attorney who reminded me of fucking Grand Moff Breaking Bad. Like he had a very much who's the dude?
Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, he's definitely no Giancarlo Moff Tarkin, but he was fucking.
Tarkin.
I'm not sure who he is.
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon. I don't know. A lot of fucking moths. Like a moth to a flame. Force insensitive. It's for you and Rocky.
Thank you.
But no, he had a little, you're like, why are they fucking busting this guy's balls? He should be fucking Charlie Bronson, And we learn some more shit. You learn a lot. I'm just saying, like, I'm along for the ride at this point. I'm fucking buckled in. I'm strapped on, and I'm fucking ready.
Strapped in, strapped on.
So he gets out of prison, right? What does he fucking do, right? He did his fucking bid. Did 8 years.
He so he took a plea agreement, or basically, was it a plea agreement, or did he admit guilt, and get a reduced sentence? Otherwise, he probably would have got 20 years or something like that, right? So he got 8 years. One of those kind of shitty situations, right? And yeah. So, and this just takes up like maybe like the first 10 minutes of the movie. Like it's pretty pretty rapid fire, yeah. So after that, while he's in prison, he has a map of the world, and he shoots spitballs at the map to try to figure out where he's going to go when he gets out, because he wants to go somewhere else, get away, And he lands on Finland. So he's like, all right, I'm going to go to Finland. I wonder if he hung out with Vesa. He should have. Would have went a little bit better.
Should have went to Vesa's house. Like, I was going to go to Finland. I saw this movie. And I'm like, fuck.
So, as he's and there's some good scenes, like especially when he goes the day he gets out of prison, like he goes shopping and then goes out for a burger, and he's having that burger, he's like really fucking into it, and then kind of paparazzi shows up and starts taking pictures of him, and his what would you guys call the other Rex? Kind of like
his conscience,
maybe like his shadow self or something. Like I don't know what you want to call it, but I wouldn't say it's his conscience.
He's maybe he is Pilot Durden's other self.
Yeah, it's
a persona.
Different persona. Like it's sort of like the devil on the shoulder, so to speak.
Well, it's Spirit Totem. It's young Jesse Custer. It's Elvis to Clarence Worley.
It's his bravery personified, probably, because it only
voice
has
without a filter.
Yeah.
No, that's me.
That's a good band name, Aries.
Voice without a filter.
Men without hats.
But regardless, I mean, he is sort of like, in a sense, he's like the devil on the shoulder. He's the urges, the violent urges, like the just sort of like the things you might think of but wouldn't act on or wouldn't do in real life, and that's kind of what this version of Rex is. And obviously he's not real. He's a figment of his imagination, or potentially like a different personality that, no one else can see him, obviously. But he sees him in the restaurant, and he's he basically says, all these people taking pictures of you, like, fucking do something, like, hurt him. And then, like, you see all of a sudden he flips the table and, like, throws the table at him.
Yeah.
But obviously it didn't actually happen. He was just kind of, like, wishing he could do it, like one of those deals.
Well, actually, that voice was saying don't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot. Okay, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually forgotten about that. Yep.
So that's why it isn't always a negative thing.
True. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point. So from there, he goes to
nice.
he goes to get his ticket to go to Finland. And then he's basically off to head out. He goes to see like an old buddy or whatever at a bar, and then heads out to Finland. And while there, there's this weird fucking couple that are like smiling at him and taking pictures of him, and I don't know, like, it's fucking just creepy, right?
was the one dude that recognized who he was. That was like, hey, you're like Captain America, you're John Wick. Like a lot of like references out. And while this guy must have been knew who he was, you see the family kind of like, well, other people who seem to be looking for a mark, which is probably why they're at the airport, right? They're looking for someone who maybe is traveling alone, maybe someone who doesn't have an entourage, someone that could be picked off.
Yeah.
It's probably the MO is what they do. That's what they do on Saturdays. They go to the fucking airport and they look for a target.
Well, I just think that was just more of convenience. They're not going to travel from Finland to the United States in the hopes of finding someone that meets their criteria.
Well, yeah, they said that they were visiting someone in the United States. So.
Oh, I thought that was the Finland airport.
No, why would he sit after taking the flight?
Have you ever taken a flight, Raven Shadow?
A couple of times, but usually I have someone to guide me.
Yeah, you sit and wait for the plane. When the plane lands, you get the fuck out of the airport.
Yeah, no, usually I'm like, Tom, where are we there yet? We're still in fucking Logan, asshole. Oh, shit. All right. I need Wranglers. I need fucking someone to help me get places.
So it's all pre-planned, and they take a picture of him while he's in the airport, and obviously text it to someone in Finland, and then that person kind of portrays a taxi driver, and then cuts in line to pick him up, and then takes him away, and then they gas him, and then he wakes up in the basement, hanging from a rope above. Should we say what he sees when he wakes up or not?
I mean, it's a weird thing, and it's a weird way how he realizes it. I actually love the way he realized it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
I
okay.
Not just way. Yeah.
But if you weren't paying attention, like I was the first time around, you'd miss it.
The first time around, you watched it twice?
No, I was watching the movie, but I really wasn't paying fully attention.
Oh my
and
God.
then when
you weren't paying attention,
what?
You just admitted to not paying attention.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Are you guys actually talking about this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you know what? When I'm watching a movie for this show, this movie has my undivided attention. Whether I love it or hate it, I am watching this
Raven
movie.
Shadow fucking loves this. Raven Shadow.
Castle Greybeard.
Raven Shadow.
You know what? Fuck Raven Shadow. 2 fucking days to watch this movie. You can't even get it fucking done.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, don't cross your feet over there,
tough
mister.
guy across the fucking state.
I got problems, Aries. Okay.
We all got fucking problems. Deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, deal with it, man.
Listen, back to Monster Zero.
Go ahead, Raven Shadow. You got this.
Yeah. No, Listen, you gotta watch the fucking movies. But
no.
Fuck you.
You have to pay attention. Ebsy was probably on his fucking phone.
He was probably dropping his phone. He was probably
dropping his phone. He's probably leaning against the fucking sink, taking a leak.
Dropping calls, probably watching fucking episodes 24, 26.
Dropping calls and dropping balls.
Yeah, Benny.
Watching 58 hours of Benny Hill. I bet you pay attention to that, you fuck.
No. I was fucking locked in like fucking Maverick. I don't know. But I was totally into this picture, dude, and it sucks. And I would say I want to tiptoe around some stuff, but I think we see then it gets real. So not only do you have this guy who this is what I love about the picture, by the way. You have a guy that was the wrong place, wrong time, didn't act that he tried to protect people, got penalized for it, and I'm not saying that this shit didn't go wrong. 8 years for doing something noble or attempt to do something noble, get out, and now you're in this situation where now you
immediately
you're in Finland. Like, what the fuck? Like, really, dude? how much worse can it? Stay tuned.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go on record and say we probably shouldn't speak further about what happens, even though it limits us as to what we can talk about. I think that is the surprise of that is kind of key to the story.
And I would agree, Aries, because I was talking to Corny, I want to say before now, this week.
What?
Before now. You spoke to someone before now. So you didn't defy the laws of physics with your discussion.
No, it wasn't someone. It was Corny. I knew who I talked to. But before
it wasn't somebody. It was Corny.
No, it wasn't just anybody. It was my friend. Corny.
Yeah, but you just said you want to say before now.
He's not going to be your friend much longer.
He's my friend longer than you.
You know what? I'm getting bored of fighting with you too.
Just come over, dude.
Okay.
Lay down. No, but no.
You didn't say lay down.
I don't know what I said. Just don't forget about it.
God damn it.
But no, but Corny said what I'm trying to get to is Corny said that he did watch the trailer and wasn't into it. I'm saying that don't watch the fucking trailer. Just fucking jump in on this, man. Like, I was completely surprised by so much of this. And I was strapped in, dude. I'm locked in.
You know what? I'll
say this. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just want to agree with that because I didn't watch the trailer for this movie, but this movie definitely it locks you in. It pulls you in.
Yeah. I never saw the trailer myself, but as the film progressed, I mean, there was just so much to like here. There's an awful lot to like. It's got some great characters in it. The score is good. The ambiance is really like it's not breathtaking, but it strangles you. Let's put it that way. It strangles you because of the
suffocating.
So yeah, that's a better word for it. It's suffocating because of the tight quarters of where a lot of this movie takes place. It's I don't know if it's shot in Finland, but man, I mean, after seeing like movies like Hostel or Hostel 2, it's always something about those European countries, man, that makes you freak out a little bit and say, hey, am I actually going to come back from here alive? Those movies really set that in my head, and this ranks right up there. There's a good amount of violence in this movie, some good fights, good gunplay, violence towards children.
Good, good, good nail gun play.
Nail gun play, and also has, I guess you could say, monster effects to a certain degree.
Yeah.
That are very effective. There's action where it is needed, and it is worthy of multiple viewings. I found it to be very entertaining. And
is this before or after you're paying attention? I'm just curious.
Suck my nut. And I thought this movie was just simply fantastic. It's one of those movies that you kind of feel like fills a certain void in you that other movies seems to have avoided. This fills that void. Excellent movie.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think they did a lot of things really well, and a lot of the movie takes place in like, as you guys said, in like one area, in one room almost. And part of me wanted the story to advance a little bit more quickly, but I think the flashbacks actually kind of added a good amount to it. Because when you look at the actual arc of what happens when he gets to Finland from where he starts and where he ends, it's like not a lot happens, right? But in the movie, it feels like a lot happens. So part of me was kind of like, well, I kind of would like to advance things along here, and then they go back and show a little bit more of what happened in the bank or something like that, and that fleshes something out more about his character. So in actuality, you're getting character development, but in a different kind of way, you know?
Oh, 100%, John. And I think the villains in this picture didn't know they were getting Captain America. Right? Or, and I'm using that was what was said. If you will, right? Didn't know they were getting John Wick. They didn't know they were getting Charlie Bronson. They didn't know they were getting, fill in the blank, and they might be complacent in thinking that they could keep doing this.
Yeah.
And kind of they got lazy. It could be fair, but I think as once again, I don't know, this couldn't be completely a stage play, but I would say that I'm going to call him Rex. I forget his name. Probably suffered for his art, because I think a lot of these scenes probably weren't fun, even if they had however they rigged certain things. I'm sure it wasn't completely comfortable.
Yeah, did he suffer for his art, MC?
You really gonna think about that? The motherfucker was tied to a ceiling. I don't care if it was for 5 minutes or an hour. He fucking suffered.
Please.
Please.
How long have you been tied to a ceiling?
Tied to a ceiling? I was tied to a ceiling when I did Fetus. Yeah. I was tied to a ceiling for about, if I had to guess, I think I was tied to a ceiling for about maybe a little more than an hour.
Okay, and you didn't suffer during that time period?
No.
No?
Weren't
you tied to a chair while Dynamo punched you or something?
Well, no. I was kneeled. It was filmed in the garage, and I was kneeling on the floor, and I think that was while Dynamo was strangling me.
Oh, strangling you. Okay.
And when the shooting was done,
that must have been some fantasy fulfillment.
Right. I think I was on my knees for like 45 minutes shooting this scene, and then when the scene was done, time to get up, my legs were like completely shot. They were like wet noodles. I couldn't stand up. I needed help getting up.
Oh, you know what? Fuck you. You know what? Fuck you.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Fuck me.
I mean, fuck you. So what? You were kneeling down. You weren't standing up. You know what? You had it easy.
That's very good. I wasn't standing up. I was kneeling.
You were kneeling down. You were resting.
I wasn't.
That's how real athletes rest. They take a knee.
I'm not. Well, get this. I'm not an athlete. So how do you like that?
Obviously, because you were exhausted by resting.
No, I wasn't exhausted. My legs gave out.
You needed help getting up from a resting position.
Because my legs were numb.
Because you were resting too much.
From kneeling.
From resting too much.
On a cold cement floor for about 45 minutes, 50 minutes.
You rested too long, so you needed help getting up.
You were
resting. A fucking old man.
Resting, sure. Okay,
Matt,
whatever you say.
So you're saying you suffered for your art?
I suffered, but I didn't mind.
So why is that any different than this motherfucker being tied to a ceiling? That he suffered but didn't mind. Maybe he minded.
You're saying because you're saying he suffered and he minded.
No. I know you were the one that brought up I didn't mind. I'm just really saying he suffered. He was in some sort of discomfort for his art.
Movies like this, you're not in really any real discomfort. Besides the guy was in shape. Okay, the guy was jacked. If you saw his arms, the guy was jacked.
How does that help him holding his arms above his head for any extended period of time?
Well, for starters, there's this little thing that they do in films called editing, where they don't.
Have you ever heard of
there
that?
There are many
Aries?
scenes. Shut the fuck
It's
up.
called a special effect.
So
I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to explain.
You weren't on the floor for an hour. You were edited on the floor for an hour.
No, I stayed on the floor for the full time.
Oh, okay. So in your film, you were allowed to get up, but in his film, he wasn't.
No, I didn't get up.
You didn't get up.
No, never.
What's going
No,
on?
Not once.
So he stayed where he was. Anytime he needed to rest his arms, he was allowed to come down. There was absolutely no discomfort whatsoever.
I don't know. You'd have to ask him. But for starters, a lot of the shots were medium close-up shots of just his face and upper body, his hands up above, but they were out of frame. So
Stay like that for the rest of the show.
Oh, for crying out loud.
You know what? Don't fucking disrespect another fucking actor because he's doing
I'm
fucking
not disrespecting an actor.
You are.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
This individual suffered
Oh my God.
this fucking movie.
You know
whether you can fucking agree to it or not. He did.
God, you gotta be kidding me.
For what? What?
You are out of your mind.
Explain to me why I'm out of my mind.
Because, like I said, there's this thing called editing that they do in movies. Okay, and whenever they take several shots of his hands above his head like this, say like the let me see, say like you see a full shot of him with his hands over his head like this, okay, right? Okay, and you see, and you'll see shots of that, and there are shots of that.
Multiple shots.
That go on for several seconds, maybe up to a minute.
Yep.
I never really timed it, so I can't really be too certain. But first of all, the idea of having to do this with any strain on the arms or on the wrists, that would hurt, because then after a while the tightness would set in and cut off the blood flow to the
might cause some discomfort.
I can't believe we're talking about this.
But if it does, I know this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. He's acting like a bitch right now.
This will end really quickly. If you can just admit individuals suffered some discomfort.
God, you're making it sound like he was. You're making it sound like he was on the set of Evil Dead. Will you control yourself? Control yourself, Aries. Just control yourself. All right.
I'm sorry. You know what? I am not prepared to disregard what he might have gone through. You're trying to compare yourself to kneeling on concrete to him being suspended from a ceiling.
I'm not trying to compare myself to anybody.
You are. You did. You absolutely did.
Wait, I gotta read this. Aries, Matthew of Omaha.
He has lost his mind.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Matthew of Omaha says Aries is gonna get MZ to confess he was part of 9/11 if this goes on long enough.
Yeah, right. Oh shit.
Where were you on the day of 9/11, 2001?
You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that rub me the wrong way, and this is one of those fucking things where.
This is one of those things. Jeez,
yes.
What doesn't rub you the wrong way?
The women.
You've been in an argument with everybody.
But you know what? I mean, do you really? He was tied to a ceiling. You understand that, right?
MZ, where were you on the morning of Wednesday, January 6th? Were you seen in the Capitol, fucking Washington D.C.?
Monsieur, did you not kill Brendan Lee? Your gun that fired a bullet on the set of The Crow, motherfucker. Answer the fucking question.
Where were you in 1992 when Benny Hill died?
Actually, it was 1993. I think I spoke earlier.
This is the new Bernie meme
Look,
where we accuse MZ of doing everything.
Look,
Were you on a grassy knoll when JFK was shot?
Actually being shut the fuck up. There's a difference between suffering and using any, and putting any physical labor into your role.
Yeah, but how do we know? We don't know that he didn't suffer.
Could have gotten out, brother.
No, but Ares automatically assumes that he did.
Well, you're automatically assuming he didn't.
Yeah. So let's meet in the middle.
But you're the one who brought it up first.
Oh boy. And Ares just disappeared. He yelled so much.
He's coming over your house, bro.
Yeah.
He's so close to you.
I think his mouth used up all the power in his house.
If he's either getting struck or his bike, you're fucked.
Matchwell says, "Fuck, I'm in tears."
You know what? I should be expecting a knock at my door in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, 10. He's going fast.
You should probably come over here, MC. Listen, you can quarantine in the shed.
Holy shit. MZ, were you holding 3 nails on the day that Jesus was killed? What's that?
We used Titanic. Where is he?
He's coming over your house, bro. Better lock those fucking doors.
Yeah, he disappeared.
And you got me so.
Oh, there he is. There he is. He's back.
Motherfucker!
We thought you left the house and started driving. What?
And furthermore, and another thing.
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Holy shit.
Check. On.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was fun.
What are some other major events that MZ was responsible for?
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, here we go.
I think I was responsible for Princess Diana's death.
Were you driving the car?
Yes, I was.
I know a shortcut.
Take the tunnel.
Remember how I said I was supposed to show up for the Survivor Series? Yeah, well, there's your reason. I wasn't there.
Oh my god.
Okay. I think we move on now.
Were you at that theater with fucking Abraham Lincoln?
Mr. Lincoln has some good seats.
You were there. You were there.
When you pop back, Aries, it scared everyone. Evil Cody says, "Shit, I just jumped."
Yeah. I peed a little bit.
And Matchell says, "Aries fucking punching reality like Superboy startled the shit out of me."
Oh, as soon as I heard voices, I just started yelling. That was
You were like punching the fucking podcast wall that reversed. Now Jason Todd's alive again. It makes no sense. But somehow
he's piercing the podcast wall like
yeah. Punch cosmic.
What's that thing you always say, Room Shadow? I can't remember it now. You always say piercing the something.
Oh, piercing the Christmas pie in my brain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sick reference. Yeah, no. Other than that is like, Mom, help me. But no, I say a lot of things. But no, Aries, there's one point I was looking at a freeze frame. Your eyes are bugging out. It's fucking downright terrifying.
Oh, God.
I want that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, you were going into full crazy Rudy Giuliani mode.
Oh,
don't even know. No.
He's gonna yell at you.
Yeah,
I'm coming over for real this time. He's getting his boots on.
Oh, and you know what? We have a good T-shirt of me. I gotta mass produce that motherfucker.
MZ, where were you the day of Four Seasons total landscaping?
I was in the sex shop. That's where I was.
Hey, Rudy, I got a place for you.
All right. Anyways, let's get back to this fucking film review.
Oh, that's
Jesus
funny.
Christ. So there's not a lot we can talk about in terms of what happens later on in the film. But what did you guys? So obviously we've talked about Ben O'Toole's performance. You guys have any additional thoughts about the performance?
I thought he was killer, dude. I thought he really. I mean, in a sense, a lot of the picture hangs on him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No pun intended. Where you got to be into this dude, and I think when we first meet him to where he goes, you're along that journey. So there's so much of this picture I want to talk about. Maybe we can do it off air at some point, or in a Discord spoiler discussion.
Yeah, that's why we have the spoiler room.
That's why we have it. Yeah.
But I thought he was great. I thought the way he played a dual role from himself to his, Jiminy Ricketts, whatever you want to call it.
Jiminy Ricketts.
Jiminy Ricketts. I'm not sure who it is, but they were both different personas, and I thought that you were caught up, and you got. It's funny, like you didn't need as much story of where he was. The best part of the story came from where he came from.
That contradicts what you just said.
I'm not sure what I just said. Maybe I'll say it again. Because I was questioning myself too. Don't hit me, Eddie. But I thought his story was more interesting than their story. And their story was very interesting too.
Yeah.
They had some problems.
I actually, the funny thing is, and I love when movies do this when it leaves you wanting more of something, but I actually wanted to know more about the family, right?
True.
Because how did they get into what they started doing, and
I mean, we kind of got
how it evolved.
Yeah, I thought they kind of explained that.
They did kind of explain it to a point, but they could have probably done a little bit more. But yeah, things like that. I wanted to know more about the family, and we did get some flashback stuff like that. The pre-credit scene with the daughter with Alia. But I thought that also in addition to Ben O'Toole, I actually thought Meg Fraser was good in this too, and this is her first feature role. So I think
she got an introducing credit.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
I'm a huge mark for introducing credit. I like superheroes with collared, with their chest exposed, and wristbands. I like cavalier boots. I like movies that could be stage plays, and I love introducing credits.
I like turtles.
Wow, so you're living in the late 70s, okay?
I'm from the 70s.
You're not from the 70s.
I was 76, bruh. Not me.
So Raven Child, let me just get this straight. You like film debuts?
I like it's something about the introducing credit. It's not just debuts.
Yeah, but that's what it's about.
But you could have this is Tom Hardy's first movie.
Right.
But when they make a point to say introducing,
so you like when someone has a major role as their first role?
I just think the introducing credit is funny because how do you know? It's almost like winning best new artist. There's a curse, right? If you win the best new artist on MTV,
no, it's introducing because it's their first role. If it's, I don't really understand what you're getting at.
Dude.
No, I know. Believe it or not, I know exactly what he's talking about.
Thank you.
Say,
where
for
were you the
instance,
night Osama bin Laden was shot?
like A Nightmare on Elm Street, it has an introducing Johnny Depp.
Right.
So
yeah, because it was his first feature.
Right. But there's a ton of movies out there in which it's their first movie, but they don't get the credit of introducing. So why does Johnny Depp and Meg, what's her name?
Fraser.
Why does she get the introducing outside of the fact that it's their first role? Unless they have something big.
So Rave Chow, you're saying
it's a major role.
So Rave Chow, you're saying it's a bold move.
It's a little bit bold. I think a little bit of chutzpah to it because listen, Johnny and Aries, because I'm looking at YouTube right now. There's no introducing Al fucking Pacino. There's no introducing,
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, fine. Look on the interwebs. You have 3 screens. I know that. I can see 2 right now, depending on the angle I look at. Give me an introducing Al motherfucking Pacino credit. Show me a introducing Bobby De Niro. Or a Bobby D. Bobby Duvall. Bobby De Niro.
The difference is they need to be in a somewhat major role for them to justify in introducing so and so, because someone could be in 15 movies and have one or non-speaking lines, and then suddenly they're in a movie. They're not going to get an introducing because it's not their first movie. It needs to have to, be their first movie, but also a somewhat major role.
Right. I mean, like Grand Moff Breaking Bad was in fucking Trading Places. He was one of the fucking prison scenes. You didn't get it introducing, Carlo, Gio, Sandra Como.
Because that was a minor role with 1 or 2 lines.
Yeah, but I think Monster Zero can speak for me on that part where I'm like, why do you get that credit?
Because it needs to be a somewhat major role, but also your first role.
So I'm reading about it, and it says if an unfamiliar actor has a lead role, he or she may be listed last in the list of principal supporting actors with their name prefixed with an introducing, as Peter O'Toole was in Lawrence of Arabia. However, and introducing is now mostly used in feature films by a young actor, usually a child, who appears for the first time in a motion picture. But interestingly enough, I also see this is Rob Lowe's credit in Parks and Rec was and introducing Rob Lowe, which is kind of weird. I don't really.
It kind of contradicts what.
I think that was trying to be funny.
That was taking the piss, probably, right? Taking the piss at it, because
because that was kind of his reintroduction, because he had kind of fallen out of favor.
Yeah,
in Hollywood.
Was it his first TV? No, it wasn't his first TV show, right?
No, I don't think it was his first. It might have been his first major, ongoing, but that was kind of his, not his first role from when he fell out of favor, but that was what kind of reintroduced him to Hollywood.
Because he made a film where he had some introducing credits, I think. That's hard. An independent film.
Okay. Well, Ravenchild likes the boldness of the move. Evil Corny says Ravenchild quit before Ares is on you.
All right. Thank you, Corny.
He's just trying to save your life.
And so we'll talk a little bit about the family. I thought the family was properly creepy, especially the brothers, the middle brothers.
Oh.
There's that one that had the eyes that were fucking freaking me out.
Yeah, there was.
Actually, you know what? We kind of, you're crediting the star with his joint role, but you forget about the brothers. That was played by the same actor.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I did not know that.
That is one actor playing both those twins.
And Ares, I didn't.
Okay.
Just credits.
And I think that deserves some praise.
Yeah, because
he did that amazingly.
Yeah, I completely didn't even know that.
Director there. Wow. No kidding.
That was so played by Travis Jeffery. He played Gale and Gideon. Interesting. Oh. Okay, yeah, I didn't even realize. I thought that they would just look similar, but that that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, they or he effectively creepy just in appearance alone. There's something about those eyes that just was really unsettling.
Oh yeah.
The fact that one actor can create the illusion of that it was 2 different people playing that one role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. No, it was well done. I think the whole family is very well done. I thought the little boy was actually quite good. Actually, everybody was really quite good as far as the family goes.
Yeah.
I think the only one that I wish we got to see maybe just a little bit more, although I can understand why we didn't, was the character of Bati. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
I thought the husband and wife I thought were effective. They just came across as very. How do I put this? Well, let's put it this way. You could tell that they were European just by their mannerisms and just by the way they handle things. It just came across very, very European to me. And I don't know, with that, it came across as kind of creepy in that sense. I don't know. There's something creepier about something like this happening in a European country than it would be happening here.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's foreign, being in a foreign place. You don't know anyone. And, that alone, I think, definitely has some some things that everyone can identify with, like just traveling or going. And he went alone, that's kind of a crazy thing to just go traveling alone. But, all right, but let's start to wind things down here. I'm trying to think. We didn't really talk too much about the bank robbers, but what did you guys think of? Yeah, I think Raven Shadow might have mentioned that they were sort of like Dead Presidents meets Monster Squad, right? Is that what you said, Raven Shadow?
Yeah, they had like a horror theme mask. It seemed like the leader had like a devil mask, werewolf, and even like they made like a Hellboy reference. So I like that. Once again, we had a Captain America, we had a John Wick, we had a Hellboy reference. I know there's a couple other ones I'm missing, but I like some of those callbacks.
Yeah,
and it was a good bank robbery team, or almost picture like. And I fucking hate these guys. They're probably the Batman villains I hate the fucking most is the fucking Terrible Trio. I fucking hate the Terrible Trio. One dude had like a shock head. They fucking suck. I hate the fucking Terrible Trio. But they were vicious from the beginning until you turn the tables on. Like any kind of bully or any kind of something like that. They
Well, I mean, I don't like the analogy of Dead Presidents because this was an unorganized group with a bank robbing.
Fair. I think.
Yeah, sure.
I think the thing I got from it is that he just meant that they were robbing a bank in masks.
Yeah, I mean, when you bring up Dead Presidents like that specific, it makes me think that there should be well organized and where it should just be they were robbing a bank in masks.
Yeah,
like that. Because it's just the Dead Presidents and Monster Squad bring up thoughts of different things when it was just an unorganized bank robbery.
Yeah, how dare you, Raven Shadow? Jesus Christ!
Don't forget the film Dead Presidents that had fucking Keith David and a young Terrence Howard in that fucking picture. But right.
Just because it has them in it, what the fuck?
It was called Dead Presidents.
Yeah, I understand that.
They
were a well-organized bank robbing crew, which this movie had neither.
Did you call them?
It didn't have that.
A robbering crew?
Robbering crew, yes.
I like that.
Look that up. That is in the dictionary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, robbering hood. That's good. Yeah. Batman a robbering.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else? I guess we had sort of like a real, how do we say? So this is I'm trying to think of a way to talk about this without giving too much away, but in a sense, there's an element of revenge. It's not a revenge film. I don't want to give people the wrong impression there, but there's an element of revenge. Did you feel that was satisfying?
Oh yeah, I did. I think the revenge factor in this film was very satisfying. Really, really right off the scale. Because at this point, I'm thinking, so far, this movie has done so many things right. At some point, it's going to fall off. I just have that feeling, and it never did. And the revenge factor in this just capped it all off for me. It was the big fat cherry on a big fat sundae.
See, I'm going to disagree because I didn't think that. I think the revenge aspect of it kind of veers off course, and it is a payoff in and of itself.
You don't think it pays off?
In a weird, twisted way, not as a revenge movie, but as a completion to the story, or as a possible continuation of the story.
Yeah, I think for me, I actually, something I appreciated was sort of how quickly it came, because a lot of times once again, this isn't a revenge movie. I just want to make that clear I don't want to give people the wrong impression, but, sometimes you get it where it slowly plays out over the course of the movie, right? But I like that they focused on Rex, on the character of Rex, and we still got that satisfaction of getting some sort of revenge. And I actually liked that at the time I was like, wow, this is going quick. But I actually kind of liked that like burst of violence, It kind of like the film lulled you into this false sense of security with the violence in a sense. And then all of a sudden it fucking hit you, and it hit you hard in like rapid fire succession,
Yeah, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree. It comes at a point when you least expect it, and that's what just made it even better, because the shit's really going to hit the fan at this point. And for me, I feel that it did.
And it came as a surprise too. So when you start seeing, that take place, it's like, what the hell is going on? You don't even realize what's going on. And that's one thing that I really dug.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell? Next thing you know, when the big reveal shows up, it's like, aha, okay, beautiful. I like that. Smart.
See, is that what you're counting as the revenge part of it?
I'm just
either one of you.
I'm just responding to.
I'm not
sure.
Of
the revenge.
Well, when you're talking about that big reveal, like I don't consider that being any part of the revenge. No,
it's.
I'm not sure if we're talking about the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah, we must be, because I think I think Wolfie and I are pretty obvious about what we're talking about here.
That's what different. I don't understand. Okay, I don't want to get into spoilers.
Okay,
we'll move on. Yeah, sorry.
All right, so I think we're probably safe to head to a verdict. Is there anything that you guys didn't bring up that you want to before we head there?
No point picking any more fights.
Okay.
Trick or treat, baby. I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. I'm going to let you know whether bloody hell was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Let's kick it over to MZ to start us off.
Okay. One thing we didn't talk about was the humor in this movie. I thought this movie was very funny.
Yep.
Very clever in some areas. A lot of the dialogue, especially being spouted out of I Am Rex's evil twin brother, I thought was very funny. And from Rex himself, I thought had some really great dialogue, some great one-liners, and that they were put in there specifically for being one-liners to be repeated by people who like the film. So for that, I say this is Big Trouble in Little Finland. That's probably my favorite line in the whole movie. I just love that line.
Yeah.
I just love that line. It's violent. It's got a good action in it. The action makes sense. As far as action films go, anyway. Great characters, colorful characters. there's a suffocating feeling throughout the entire film. It's got a really good score. If you pay attention to the score, it's really good too.
Yeah, I really dug the score.
The performances are really out of this world, fantastic, especially by Ben O'Toole, who I thought putting in that double performance really was amazing. It's well written, it's very well paced, and man, you know what? I want to see a sequel. I really do. I am striving for a sequel. I don't know what they would do, but this was fantastic, and it's going to have to be one hell of a year for this not to make my top 13 somewhere. It's in there now. Fantastic movie. This is a very high-end treat.
All right. MZ gave it a treat. Let's go to Raven Shadow.
Yo, I gotta echo the sentiments of Monster Zero on this one. I completely adore this fucking picture, man. Finally, Johnny. Little nonsense, for a little while with the cram and the jammins.
The crams and the jammins.
The crams and the jams. But this was right in my wheelhouse. We've made references, or I've made references. They called this character like Captain America, John Wick. He's not exactly that either. I love the characters, the good and the bad, from the Finnish villains to the domestic ones. Good gore, good effects. I was locked in from the jump. And yeah, I kind of do want to see a sequel. And I get it. When you've been in jail for 8 years and you survived all these things, you're going to let certain heads talk to the other one. But goddamn, I was still concerned about certain outcomes in this picture. So I see a trilogy here. And I will say this. I want a fucking Rex action figure to go next to my Randy and my Train to Busan, Hoss, and fucking baseball player dude. Like, I love Rex so much, but he needs to be an action figure. Why are you going to sleep, Monster Zero? God damn it, I'm supporting you. But yeah, don't watch the fucking trailer. Just fucking jump into this flick. It's dope. It's rad. I had so much fun with it. Definitely top 13 candidate right now. Treat, Bo Beat, Banana Fan of Faux Feet, dude. Yo.
Wow. Oh man. All right. Well, let's see what Aries has to say.
Wow. Yeah. Top 13 out of 3 movies we watched.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. Yeah. This movie, yeah, it was definitely enjoyable. It was paced pretty well. There wasn't a lot going on in the beginning, but it kept you involved. My big problem at the beginning is I thought they gave you too much information about Rex. I thought they kind of portrayed him as too much of a hero right from the get-go. I think it could have been better where it kind of was left to the viewer's imagination as to whether what he did was justified, because they could have because of how the world was viewing him when he came out. Some people were seeing him as a hero, some was a villain. I thought that could have been played out better if it was just left more for the viewer to decide. And as the movie played out with their flashbacks, it was revealed. So I feel like that was just one little flaw with that. I did like the airport scene where it plays on a fear that I think everyone has when someone is speaking a foreign language around them, where it was like, are they talking about me?
Yeah.
Should I be fearing for my safety right now? Like, I thought that that aspect of it was like, I don't know what they're saying. Is it about me? Like, I don't know. Like that struck a nerve with me, that foreigners speaking around me, like being paranoid. I don't know if that's just me or whether it's everyone, but that definitely struck a nerve with me. But the action that happens in this movie. Beyond that, there are a lot of things that I didn't see happening. Like, really caught me off guard and like made me not jump out of fear, but more out of discomfort, out of things that happened that were very abrupt or just happened. Like, I can't even describe it without revealing too much, but there was a lot that kept me on the edge of my seat, which was very enjoyable about this movie, especially a movie that was ultimately very simplistic in its story, but was so much in depth and kept you engaged. I do feel they left it open for a sequel. And I am on board with that if they do that because of how they opened it up. So this movie definitely is a treat. Check it out.
All right. And another treat for me. This is also a treat. I really dug a lot of what they did in this film. And the thing is, I guess, kind of taking a step back, what we do on the show is we review a lot of VOD stuff, right? Like, that's kind of where we sit. We occasionally will do some stuff that was a theatrical release first, but this is, this is a VOD release. I think it played in some theaters, so I think it did get a theatrical release. But as we know, theatrical releases nowadays are different than what they used to be. But I think it has a generic title. Like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I have a feeling that this might not stand out from the pack. Based on the synopsis or based on the poster, based on the name. And I think that it should. I think that this is a film that definitely needs eyes on it. And I hope that it does find its audience. I think that from what I've seen, just looking online on social media and stuff, it seems like it's getting a lot of praise, which is great. So, but as we know, we've talked about this many times, when when you're subject to what's available on streaming and you're just flipping through, like, what really grabs you, right? Like, what is it? Is it an actor in it? Is it a director? Is it the poster? Is it the name? Like, it's I think people are at the mercy of whatever their whimsy is. Like, for some people, it might be the title. I mean, they might just be like, oh, bloody hell, that sounds awesome. Let me check it out. Or other people might just be like, yeah, that sounds lame, and just kind of go right by it. So that's the difficulty of this day and age of it's great to be able to have almost everything available to us, but we do run the risk of missing out on gems like this, because of that. And that's kind of why I guess it kind of goes to the reason we do kind of live in this VOD, kind of area, because there's a lot of stuff that gets released here that doesn't get, the sort of attention that it deserves. Obviously, there's a lot of other podcasts. There's other, review sites and things like that out there. But I like when we watch films and we find something like this that's different. And, I think it's a pretty standard premise, like nothing like that really stands out of the ordinary. But what they do with it, I feel, makes it feel slightly more original. And in having this arc of Rex being told the way that they tell it, I think is a really interesting way to do it. Because if this movie was just played straight, where this dude gets out of prison and then goes to Finland and then things happen, maybe that's not as interesting. But as the movie progresses, we find out more, we get more information. And, I think that that's an interesting way to do it. And I like the way that they paced this film and how they broke it up. One other thing I'm surprised no one mentioned is the, maybe even, it's not like hugely demonstrative, but the Evil Dead influence. Almost, and I know there wasn't necessarily a good Ash and a bad Ash, but in a sense, we got that duality, right? Like, it wasn't like one was evil and one was good, but we got the duality of the two different personas. And, especially with some of the gore that happened in this, there definitely, and some of the camera work even, I got a little bit of a influence of Evil Dead. Not not like there right in front of you and completely blatant, but I think it was enough. And I think it was enough to kind of pay homage to it, if you will. So. But I think their strong suit here is the performance by Ben O'Toole. I think he was really great in this film. I think the direction is really good. The writing is good. I think there's a lot to like, and even the score. I think MZ, you mentioned, I really dug the score. I thought it was a different kind of sound. It was a bit of a traditional score, but done in a different way, which I feel embodies this movie very well. Is that it's they have a traditional sort of story, but in told in a non-traditional way. And I think that's what really sets this above a lot of the other stuff out there, and I think it's really worth people's attention. And I think people should definitely check out Bloody Hell because it's a pretty cool movie. So there you go. You got 4 treats. Not too shabby. Starting the year off pretty good here. And I think we got a lot of other really good ones coming up soon, including next week. But actually, before we get there, I think we got a tweet from the writer, actually, because I tweet out the episode every week when we're doing it and tag people, and so Robert Benjamin is the screenwriter, and he says, "Thank you so much, guys. Stoked you enjoyed it." So awesome. Thanks, Robert. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for writing such a cool movie, man.
Before you move on, I don't want to miss this opportunity to disagree with you, because it's odd that rarity that I get to fight with you.
Bring it on, Aries. Bring it on.
I don't agree with the Evil Dead comparison with the duality of the characters, because the Evil Dead, it's 2 different characters, and this one, I believe it is the same character, just in different personas.
No, you're right there. And what I was trying to say was just the sort of idea of having like in Evil Dead, looking at Army of Darkness, or I guess even
Army of yeah,
or even Evil Dead 2, where he becomes a demon, he becomes a Deadite, right? So I just was playing. Ben O'Toole playing 2 different roles is kind of what I was getting at. So.
Oh yeah, no, I can see that, but I just didn't want to, the comparison being that it's, it's similar but different. But the some of the filming aspects of it I do see as well.
Yeah.
It's subtle, but I do see it there.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool camera angles. Like one, actually, I think where the family comes back into the house, and you see the camera sort of like looking down on the doors opening, and then it kind of flies out to look at them entering. And I thought that was a cool shot. There's a couple other interesting shots like that as well. So there you go. Unfortunately, Aries and I didn't fight, so sorry.
That's about as close to fighting as we like to get.
But they did this cool stuff where they took some like tropes and it made sense why people weren't maybe in the house for a while. It did a lot of small things really.
Yeah, it's smart little writing things that that you can like say, oh well, there's a reason for this. It wasn't just like, oh well, they forgot where the characters were, or why didn't this happen, or why didn't that happen.
Yeah, because it was even towards the end, I was like, what about, like, oh no, and I love flicks, and we've been watching a bunch of them that just take certain tropes and just switch it up a little bit.
Yeah,
and I think this is just paramount to that.
Yeah, just kind of take those tropes and kind of turn them over on their head a little bit, and that's a great way to make take a tried and true sort of like tactic that works in filmmaking and make it feel original. Is just kind of turn on its ear a little bit, and I think they did that here, and I think it was effective, and based on everyone's verdicts, I think that they were successful. So.
Oh yeah, you don't need an overly complex story to make a good movie.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh sure.
Exactly. All right.
But
so.
It's fucking badass, though, right? There was some badass shit up in here, right?
There was. We talked about it for like an hour and a half.
Where were you?
I think our review, our discussion was as long as the film. All right, so next week though, I'm excited about next week. I was excited about this week, but I'm excited about next week because next week we'll have a guest. In addition, Raven Shadow, don't you dare take your fucking headphones off, okay?
Pick up a pen and write this shit
Yeah,
down.
write this down, okay?
Yeah, write it
Because
down.
you know what? No one is answering you this fucking week when you say what movie we watching.
And we have a guest announcement, Raven Shadow.
Johnny will answer me, and I'm pretty
Don't-
sure.
No, not this week.
Don't.
No, that's this week. And you know what? Because the guest you'll remember, the movie you'll forget.
Yeah, and don't ask him either.
Yeah, you don't get to ask the guest.
Who's the guest?
Oh, it's funny that you ask, Raven Shadow, because next week joining us is the the guest co-host who has been the guest co-host the most in the history of Trick or Treat Radio. Do you remember who that is, Raven Shadow? The person who has been a guest co-host more than anyone else.
Why are you asking him to guess anything?
And don't guess wrong.
Did I give my answer and was it wrong, or did you not hear my answer?
We didn't hear your answer.
No, I heard it. He was wrong.
Oh. What was his answer? I didn't hear it.
Can I text you, Johnny?
No,
God,
fucking Christ. Okay, next week we're going to be doing the film Psycho Goreman, which is directed by Steven Kostansky, who is a member of Astron 6. And whenever we've done Astron 6 films, we've always had this person join us. El Goro. Yeah.
Yeah.
So El Goro from the Talk Without Rhythm podcast will be joining us next fucking week.
Don't fucking tell me about him because I get some fucking voicemails leave for his show.
I just did. I told you about him.
Oh, but now that I know about the send to email thing, I'm gonna do some stuff for the Goro.
You're gonna do some stuff for the Goro.
For the Goro.
Oh God, I feel bad for him right now.
I
feel bad for El Goro.
I think Goro likes me enough.
We'll find out next week.
Barely.
Really?
Barely.
You think?
Barely enough.
I think he likes me a little bit.
Very little.
We'll find out.
Well, let's put it this way. It's not so much that he likes you; he just tolerates you.
No, I think he likes Johnny first, and then Aries because they're both big and have beards, and then I think he would like me, and I think he would like you after me more.
Well, he and MZ had beef for a little while.
Yeah, see.
We had what?
You had beef with him.
I did?
Yeah, because you always did his voice, and he didn't like that.
I'm texting him right about that.
Oh, I didn't know he didn't like that.
Well, I actually don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm just.
Oh, okay. All the more reason for me to continue doing it then.
Oh yeah, yeah. Please continue that.
All right. So next week we're going to be joined by El Goro from Talk Without Rhythm, and we'll be doing Psycho Goreman. It is dropping on VOD on January 22nd. Everyone go check it out. And also, this is one of those ones I think people are really going to fucking like. Go watch Psycho Goreman. Come back next week with your thoughts. Send us a voice message, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. And I believe the Alamo Draft House, is doing a screening of it on Saturday night. So Saturday, the 23rd, they're doing a screening, and there's like a Q&A afterwards as well. I think it's like $12.99. I'm actually considering doing that. If I can. Yeah, I think it's at like 7 p.m. though, so I don't know if I'll be available. But anyways, if people out there want to do that, support cinema, you can go ahead and do it through Alamo. They're playing the film, doing the screening of the film, and then doing a Q&A afterwards. So check that out. So looking forward to that. That's one of my definitely one of my most anticipated films. I actually thought we were going to get to it last year, but it probably COVID pushed it a little bit. But here we go. We'll be doing it next week. So, all right. So Psycho Goreman next week. But now we have a voicemail. Let's see. I think we have two from the same person. He sent. He always sends one like the day after last week drops, and sometimes I forget it. But I didn't forget it this week. So we're gonna start off by going down under, which I think is where the film that we reviewed, I think it was an Australian production, if I'm not mistaken.
It was.
Yeah. So So like bloody hell, we're gonna go down under, and we're gonna hear from Tim from Melbourne. Tim Chuma.
Mambaleo. Tim from Melbourne here again. Yeah, I was up late last night watching the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. Yeah, I actually liked it better just having it as a comedy, and hopefully they don't do too much superhero stuff in it, because it'd just be like everything else that's been going on in Marvel. I'd rather them keep it as the sitcom. Yeah, I don't know if I'll keep Disney Plus, because that's the only show and The Mandalorian that I'll watch. I'll probably just not renew it, and then renew it again at the end of this year so I can watch the new Boba Fett show when it comes, has all the episodes. Yeah, I watched a movie this week in the cinema called VJ the Master, a big Indian one. There's another one, I saw the trailer for, where the Raven showed like this. He lights his cigar off the end of a 50 caliber machine gun barrel because it was glowing red hot. But that was the trailer. Yeah, I had a few comic books to review. The Darth Vader 9, which is okay, but they're still trying to shoehorn like the new Disney continuity into it. So it's got stuff about Exegol in it. It's, go away. And also Gwenom versus Carnage, which is, really confusing for, if you've got a new comic, you want to be able to explain it. This starts a bit too complicated. I don't know who's going to be into that unless you're really into those 2 characters, like the Ghost Spider and Carnage. All right, thanks. I've got a couple of gigs today, so I'm going to be out all day. Going to leave pretty soon, actually. All right, thanks. Bye.
All right, Tim from Melbourne. Pretty cool. Raven Shadow, have you watched or are you interested in WandaVision?
No, we watched, Mary and I watched Uno and Dos on Friday. We're very excited for it.
And how is it?
I like it. I have my own theories. Having read a lot of that 80s stuff, and I think I may have said before I dreamt it, I think they're pulling a lot of that stuff in some of the new Tom King books. But I have my theories, and I think they're going to give Wanda a big push, power level wise, and I think it's going to get darker. And there's some cool Easter eggs there, so I'm excited for it. And yeah, that's what Mary and I are doing tomorrow night, cool. Friday.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'll probably. I'm curious. Obviously, I'll check it out, but I haven't watched it yet. Aries, how about you? Do you have any interest?
I have watched both of those.
Okay.
And I'm really just, I find it funny that Raven Shadow's prediction is it's going to get darker than a 50s sitcom. Because that's a no-brainer. It is the first 2. They're very reminiscent of Leave It to Beaver and Bewitched, and that is very intentional. And it is like they don't try to hide that at all. And I am very excited to see where they're going with this.
Yeah, I mean, all I know is nothing. They're reprinting a whole lot of fucking West Coast Avengers trades. So shit happened back then. So it's stuff I love. Some of the John Byrne stuff, the Roger Stern stuff. So like, once again, I kind of know where the source material comes from, and if they go that route, I'm intrigued either way. But like, I'm excited.
Well, as you know, the MCU takes the source material and then twists it, which
fair.
I mean, that's one thing that's great about that, because even if you're 100% familiar with the story they're going with, it is still going to surprise you.
And I want that. Once again, I have those stories. Like, it's no surprise that Falcon and Winter Soldier are going to bring in John Walker as
John Wick.
No. Johnny Walker does become Jack Daniels later on. That was fucking weird. But they're right. They're gonna take the source material, and it's cool if it gets a lot of creators, maybe some more money, if they're mining some of those stories. Like I love I'm as much as I love introducing credits, Johnny, I love watching end credits and seeing like creators getting, just some recognition on some of this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's always good to see.
Probably the biggest pop I did during WW84, which I did enjoy, was seeing the credits at the end, mentioning cats like Perez and Rucka and a whole bunch of motherfuckers who contributed over the years. DeMatteis and the fucking Geffen.
All right, so we got one more from Tim from Melbourne. Let's hear what he has to say.
Mambaleo. Tim from Melbourne here. I had to go get a coronavirus test today because I went to book an appointment for a doctor for a sore throat and they said, no, go get tested. So, okay. I'm not going to miss any work because I'm working from home. I'll just sort of send you a message to test out this new headset I've got for review. It's a new MSI one. I don't know if I'll use it. It's a bit bulky and stuff. And it's got that stupid swivel thing that it breaks. I don't know why they make them like that, just so it fits in a case. It'll break. I've had two other ones that have broken. It's a Immerse G861. They're about $200, but I got it for free for review. And a light-up mouse, which don't think you've noticed about light-up mouses. If you put your hand on them, you can't see the lights. I don't know why you'd do that. And I also got Stray Dogs, which is a comic book about dogs, and one called Universe, where the person gets sent back in time to engrave the copyright on every molecule of the universe from the Big Bang onwards, and he doesn't do what his boss tells him to. That was the first story. It's about 200 pages called Universe ! I don't know what we're going to be doing this weekend. It's the Australia Day long weekend. I'll have to see what the test results say. All right, see ya.
All right, Tim Chuma. Hope everything goes all right. I think he got his, didn't he post he got his COVID test results? I thought he posted that. I think he was negative, I think he said. So.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Good man.
Awesome.
I like that he was reviewing his headset.
I love that dude so much.
Don't buy that one, everyone. Big thanks to Tim Chuma for checking in from Down Under. We appreciate it, buddy. All right, so we could probably wrap up here soon. Anything else you guys wanted to discuss before we do that?
Nope.
Not really.
Not really. All right, so we will wrap things up. Let's go around the room and say goodnight, starting with MZ.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
Aries.
Sayonara.
And Raven Shadow.
The fast, love hard, survive with your mask on.
That's right. You definitely want to do that.
Fucking crying, brother.
All right. So, as I said, for next week, we're going to be discussing the film Psycho Goreman from director Steven Kostanski, and we'll be joined on the show by guest co-host, our good buddy El Goro from the Talk Without Rhythm podcast. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a great time. We got some other cool stuff coming up too. We might book some more guests this year as we're kind of more comfortable with this whole 4 different locations thing. So might as well make it more complicated and add a 5th or a 6th. So we'll probably be doing some more of that. We got some cool things lined up, some good movies coming up. So can't wait. So we appreciate all you guys tuning in, everyone who tuned in live. And tonight we got voice messages from Tim Chuma from Melbourne. So we appreciate that, Tim. And once again, if anyone out there wants to leave us a voice message or an email, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. We always love hearing from you guys and welcome any thoughts, whether it's about the film we're reviewing the current week or just about anything in general. So that will do it, and we appreciate all you guys, especially our Patreon supporters. Don't want to forget them because they keep us going. They keep our Patreon supporters make us smell, and we make our Patreon supporters smell. It's an inside joke. So we appreciate you guys. And everyone who listens to the podcast, you guys are the best. So thank you to everybody, and we will see you guys next week. Stay safe out there. Breathe a nice sigh of relief this week. See ya.